What is up, everybody? Welcome to another video here on the channel. Today we're going to be doing another tier list reaction video. What I've chosen for today is Radiant Dawn. Last time we did Path of Radiance. Radiant Dawn's a really interesting game. I've actually been working on a guide for Radiant Dawn that'll be coming out pretty soon. So I've sort of gotten into that mindset, and I was like, let's look at it. Let's look at a tier list. Let's see what people have to say. This is the first one I found. Now, Radiant Dawn is a really interesting game to sort of do a tier list on because it's so broken up and availability makes it like really hard to, I don't know, figure out, I guess, where characters should be placed. um when I was doing tier lists, I was sort of breaking them up. I did a Dawn Brigade one, and then I think I did a Mercenaries one, and I might have done chapter two as well, or sorry, part two. But it's really hard to sort of, I don't know, to figure out like where availability lands on usefulness. But this list is weird, so we're gonna take a look because it's a pretty bad list. I'm gonna be honest. First things first, this list didn't say anything special about being like characters they like. This was a tier list. So hypothetically, these are the characters this guy thinks or girl thinks is the best and the worst in the game. So it should be fun to take a look at. And as always, if you enjoy, please consider subscribing. It really helps me out. Or comment down below what you think. So let's just start right in S plus tier. I don't know why people do this when they do like S and then S plus. Like, I guess I kind of get it. There are a lot of characters in this game, so I guess having more like tier list things kind of makes sense. But it's weird when you get down to B. There's just B. There's not like B plus, but whatever. Doesn't matter. We have number one. We have Mia, which is very bizarre. Now I like Mia quite a bit in this game. In fact, I've made multiple videos where I've talked about how it's surprising that she's really good, how much better she is in this game than Path of Radiance. But she's not the best character in the game, not by a long shot. She's a solid unit in the game. Maybe belongs in like A or something. Not at the top of S plus tier. Then I have Nephany, which, to be fair, I gotta stop the Nephany slander because I feel like people really enjoy Nephany. I do too, and I feel like I've gotten this rap of I hate Nephany and she's terrible. In fact, one of my friends in real life, shout out to you, Daniel, if you're watching this, mentioned me that he doesn't like all the Nephany slander on the channel. I know I was joking, but let's just say for the sake of this, Nephany's great. She should be there. If anything, she should be even higher. Nephany's fantastic. I love Nephany. So next up we have Janaf. I don't know why JNF's here in S plus. This is always like one of the weirdest things about looking at tier lists because thinking JNF is way better than he actually is one thing, but having JNF so far away from Yuki, who I'm not even sure where he is. Oh, he's down at B, is really weird. And again, this is a tier list, so this isn't I like JNF better than I like Yuki. They're basically the same unit. They come at the same time. They have the same availability. They have basically the same stats. If anything, I think Yuki is actually better in this game, but I could be wrong about that. But either way, they're very similar. So I have no clue why they're so different. Obviously, neither of them belong in S plus tier. Yuki's actually probably pretty reasonably placed, but yeah, I don't know why they're so far apart. It's like putting dancers really far apart. Doesn't make any sense. And then we have Rolf, another character who I've slandered on this channel multiple times and people have not enjoyed. I used him and Nephany as kind of the props for my what makes a Fire Emblem character strong video. So I think everybody knows how I feel about them. Obviously, Rolf shouldn't be here, but whatever. We've talked about him to death. And then we have Har, who is definitely the best character in the game. At least he understands, or this person understands that Har is a pretty good character. Obviously, should be higher than the bottom of S plus, but at least he's in S plus. You got to give him credit for that. I think it's pretty easy to understand just how good Har is, but yeah, at least he's an S plus. At least he's an S plus. Then we have Kanengus, another just like really weird choice. Now I love him; he's incredibly good in the end game, but he is available for 5 chapters, and he's awesome on those 5 chapters. But that's not a lot of availability, even in a game where availability is like really low. His availability is like really low, right? So it's weird to have like what is essentially a Goda this high up. Kind of weird. But he is good for when you get him at the very least. But another unit that's like so similar to Gifka, I guess he is better than Gifka, but I don't know. They really should just be together. Then Micaiah. By the way, we haven't seen Ike yet. We have not seen Ike, but Micaiah. Yeah, Micaiah's terrible. I'm sorry. I absolutely love watching Micaiah destroy people with Fanny. It's one of my favorite things in Radiant Dawn. But she's not a good character. She's just not. I have no idea why she's this high. Then we have Nyla. Another thing that's similar to Kanengus. She is a better character because you get some other utility with her, at least in the Dawn Brigade. Maybe not a better character, but fairly similar. But yeah, with her availability, she should not be this high. And then Edward, another just really bad unit. I feel like people really like Edward, so I'm not surprised to see him this high. But unfortunately, the Dawn Brigade desperately needs stats. They desperately need non-really weak Myrmidons, and unfortunately, Edward is just that. Then we have Sorin, Alencia, Tabarn, Ileana, Astrid. Really bizarre choices. I don't really understand any of these, if I'm being honest. All of this A plus tier until we get to the end with Titania, Jill, and Oscar, who are all pretty reasonable choices. Although I don't really know why Oscar is higher than a lot of units, and I don't like Jill very much. But yeah, big swaths of units, really bizarre. Tabarn, another awesome unit at the end game. He's actually probably quite a bit better than Kanengus because you get him during part 4. But yeah, should not be this high. Alencia has very little availability. I will say I did put Ileana on my top 5 characters that got better because she is invaluable in this game because she is the best link between the Dawn Brigade and the Ground Mercenaries. Now, I don't think that's probably why this person has her so high. Um, and I don't know that I'd put her this high unless I was memeing, but she is actually pretty useful. But Marcy's availability is terrible. Astrid is, I think, the worst character in the entire game. I absolutely hate Astrid. I cannot imagine putting Astrid in the middle of A plus. That's insane to me. I don't know what planet this person's living on, but yeah, very odd. Um, Soren's okay, but not great. Then in A we have the Black Knight. The Black Knight, who's not even really a character. I mean, I guess you put him on a tier list because you do get to use him a little bit, and he is helpful. But like, why is the Black Knight at the top of A? So weird. Then Gifka, and then finally Ike, which is nice. And then we have a character that's not even usable in the game. And then Lucia, and then for some reason Rayson is here, and the rest of the Herons are lower. I'm pretty sure that Rayson is the worst of the Herons because I think the other ones can dance for like multiple characters, whereas Rayson can't. So I don't know why he's so high and they're so low. Volk is also basically not available in the game. Same thing with Soniki. Kind of same thing with Skrimir. Then we have Leonardo just hanging out here. We haven't talked about Soth or Nolan, by the way. Basically, the units that carry the early Dawn Brigade chapters. Um, and then in B, again, Yulki is really strangely placed. I don't know why Soth is there. Joffrey or Jeffrey, whatever. Also an amazing character. I mean, absolutely like maybe not amazing because he only carries the Crimean Knights chapters, but he's the best Crimean Knight by a lot. Not according to this person because we have Astrid up there in A plus. Um, the rest of this B, I guess, is fairly reasonable. A lot of these units are fairly mediocre, so Hark should be higher. Um, Nolan should be higher. Gatry is like way better. I don't know what this person likes. It's very odd. I'm trying to figure out the thing about all these tier lists is I understand. I think we all understand this person like doesn't really get what makes a good character good, right? I think we all get that. This tier list is not great. But like I'm always trying to figure out what this person seasoned characters or what they like. And some of these characters make like some sense to me. If you look at S plus and S, it's a lot of these characters that I think are more like crowd favorites than actually good. Edward, Rolf, Nephany, Micaiah are all great examples of this. But then you also have like random Laguz lords strewn in there. Obviously, I think this person likes growth units. A lot of times, if you see bad tier lists, it usually revolves around growth units. But it's also weird to me that you have like Stefan all the way down in C, which is kind of odd. He also has random like unusable characters strewn about here. Uh, like I think it's Rajan or whatever his name is, the dragon that dies at the end of Path of Radiance, which isn't even really a character in Radiant Dawn. So I don't know why like you would put him at the bottom of C, and then Degencia, who's an enemy, and then Kieran, who's pretty useful in the game. Like some of these ratings are really odd. I mean, Largo is on this tier list. Like it's very Largo is ahead of Kurth. Like what? Why is Largo ahead of Kurth? I don't understand that. This may very well be the most random tier list we've ever seen. Now, I will give the person that made this credit because, as I said before, ranking Radiant Dawn units is really difficult. I mean, this is a terrible tier list, but at least in a lot of these weird spaces where it's like, screw it, I don't know, Tanith, Sigrun, Aaron, whatever. I like at least I get that, you know. But it's just bizarre to me, like the positioning here. I mean, the guy in E, I can't remember his name, but that's the boss of Alencia's Gambit. Now, sometimes with these tier lists, they do just give you a bunch of units and they include like bosses and enemies. It's weird to put those on your tier list when your tier list is supposed to be like a who's good in the game tier list. But I mean, I guess you just use whoever they give you. It's weird. Like Vika is below so many characters that are not recruited. Which, to be fair, Vika, Morim, and Tormund are probably the most availability screwed characters in the game. So if this is like a shot at them being so availability screwed, I kind of get it. But you know what's like extra weird? Laura is way down there in E. Like Laura is the only healer on the Dawn Brigade until Micaiah promotes. Like why is Laura so bad? There are some points on this tier list that are so strange. Like Laura is just a great example. Shinon, like why are these characters so ridiculously low? I don't understand. This is definitely one of the weirder tier lists we've looked at because even though a lot of it is it's just bad, it's just this person obviously values units that they like. But again, there's just like weird stuff at the end, and a lot of these like unusable units, like strewn throughout usable characters. And again, like why is Laura so low? Why is a character like Aaron so low? Why is Kieran so low? I don't know. Oh, I actually hold on. What could you guys have seen? Oh, I actually skipped I skipped the bottom part. Okay, I apologize for that. Laura is down here. I should have scrolled down. That's on me. For some reason, there's also an F. Even though there's nothing in F. I don't know. This is just a bizarre tier list. I will say, if we scroll up one, somebody did react with a little poop emoji. So clearly, some people agree that this is a pretty messed up tier list. But yeah, characters are honestly just all over the map. I think this person probably likes a lot of these units at the top. Like they probably really like Mia, Nefany, Rolf, which I don't blame them. They're cool characters. And then probably got to about B or C and was just sort of like, maybe this person didn't even remember that some of these characters were unusable. They were like, I think was Largo in this game? Maybe I don't know. Put him here. I didn't use him. It's just weird that there are like distinctions down here because I think it's pretty clear this person probably didn't use a lot of these units. I didn't even mention Volug and Tyranio, both extremely useful characters on the Dawn Brigade that are also lower than Sephiran, a character that you get on the last chapter. Although, given how many characters are around here that are completely unrecruitable, I guess I shouldn't I shouldn't be that surprised by that. But yeah, this is the I don't know. This is the first tier list I found of Radiant Dawn. I wouldn't mind kind of trying to find a good Radiant Dawn tier list. Maybe we'll try to do that next time and talk about what I agree with, what I don't agree with. But yeah, not a great tier list. If I had to rank it, it'd probably be like a 2 out of 10, something like that. So, as always, please let me know what you think in the comments. Maybe if you have an idea of what this person was actually trying to rank. As I said, I think it's probably just characters this person likes, and then the rest is just who cares. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed, and as always, I will see you next time.